Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Rotten Apples. And in this episode, we're covering the Omegaverse, which is something we've been wanting to do since we first thought of this podcast in the first place. So we're really excited to cover it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we were doing research on like the origins of this really weird trope, I was very surprised that it sort of backed up all the way to the 1960s, right? So are you a big fan of Star Trek? Like, do you
Nah,
know?
I don't know much about it, but I do know
No.
there's this one dude. He has like the bowl cut and like the sharp eyebrows. I forgot what
Oh,
his name was, but like he's gay coded a lot.
I think he's a Vulcan, which is a type of
Okay.
race.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that one character, his name is Spock, if I remember
Oh,
correctly.
yes.
Yeah, he does the finger thing with his hands.
Nice.
So
Only do
he
it
is
on the
part
right
of
hand.
a race called the Vulcans. And apparently there is this world building concept where the Vulcans have this idea of they said upon far, I could be pronouncing it wrong, but male Vulcans must mate or else they'll die, right? So of course that could stem into a lot of things.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So obviously you can imagine what type of fan fictions were being written surrounding that mate or die type of concept.
Fuck or die.
Yes. But yeah, I think the contemporary, like the ABO type of rules that we know today, started off from supernatural fan fiction. Yeah,
Legit?
yeah. Back so it's. I feel like this concept, even though it started back in the '60s, is pretty recent because again, supernatural was like in the 2010s,
Yeah.
right?
Wait, so the ABO, and when we say ABO we mean like alpha, beta, omega.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't there during the Star Trek time?
No, it was more like probably the idea that there are the fact of like mpreg was
Mm.
probably one of the things that was involved with that type of Star Trek fan fiction.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. It was that seahorse type thing. You know
Yes.
how like male seahorses are
Yeah.
the ones that get pregnant?
Yes.
They get pregnant.
Yes, they do. So we'll go into the rules in the anatomy
Nice.
of it later.
Nice. I'm excited.
Yes. But yeah, the fact that it started off from like supernatural fan fiction is so strange because again, I've never been a huge fan or I've never watched Supernatural. So,
That's okay. I watched it for like 4 seasons and I still have no idea where
oh
it
no.
came from. I don't
Oh.
know. Um, but if there are any Supernatural fans out there who might know, please let us know. But yeah.
Mm. But it was also during that time when you have the first published works of Omegaverse fiction as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's funny because it stemmed from like fan fiction, and then the authors would sort of adjust it in a way so that they can publish it as their own work. So,
Oh, wouldn't that be? That's not. That wouldn't go into like plagiarism
and that's
territory.
where we sort of like have copyright issues that come
Okay.
up. I guess for fanfic writers itself, because it strays so far from the original plot, it won't count as plagiarism. But the concept of the Omegaverse itself, there was an attempt of a case because this author, it was published in the New York Times.
Damn, the
Um,
Omegaverse came to the New York Times.
yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah. But again, this is like I think it was written in what is it 2020.
Oh, that's recent.
Yeah, so Addison Kane wrote this cheesy romance novel. You know, it's fine. That had rules similar to the Omegaverse, or is essentially was the Omegaverse. And she wanted to sue another author who also published a work that had the world building that was very similar to hers, right?
Huh. Okay.
And so that again brings into, I guess the question is, in your opinion, do you think it was right for her to sue another author because they shared, I guess, same world building rules?
I don't personally. I don't think so.
Mm.
I mean, like for any work of fiction or anything, it's like it's inevitable that you would have drawn inspiration from another work. It's impossible to have a purely original work, in my opinion. But something like the Omegaverse, which is just this is so funny to me because it's such a Omegaverse when we're being so serious about it. But it's like a trope that's so entrenched among so many different people. It's just a concept, like how I don't know, urban fantasy is a genre. You wouldn't like accuse somebody of plagiarizing for writing in the urban fantasy genre,
Mm-hmm.
right? I would say the only exception is if like the world building specific to that book and that author's mind was like very closely copied by someone else or reflected by someone else. That's when it can be borderline infringement.
Yeah.
But if it's just something broad like the Omegaverse, how can you can't really accuse them of plagiarizing. But I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, obviously, because a lot of the manga and manhwas sort of pick up on that concept, and
Yeah,
they're obviously published works. I feel like it again it isn't a big deal, and maybe when it first started, it probably was
yeah,
because they probably thought like it's very original. It's never been this concept has never been published before, so the
yeah.
fact that
But this is in 2020. This
yeah,
it's like entrenched at this point.
yeah, I can understand her reasoning for trying to sue, right?
Oh, okay.
Because again, you've never seen this concept before, and then this happens all of a sudden. You're like, hey, this person stole my idea.
Yeah, yeah,
But then I guess she should have taken it as a more positive light, thinking you're snowballing or you're starting this new trend.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if a megaverse should be a trend anyway,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but
It's
yeah,
just a thing.
but yeah, it's. I think that's something she should be proud of, that she inspired other authors or writers to have the same concept.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. But I can kind of see where you're coming from too, where it's like you suddenly see someone with like a near clear cut or like such a transparent reflection of your own work. It's like, hey, what the fuck?
mm-hmm.
It's that's supposed to be mine.
Yeah,
Like I can see where that's coming from. And at the same time, it's like then you might as well just sue the entire manhwa and manga community of authors and creators who've been doing ABO stuff since the dawn of time.
yes.
Like yeah, so
And because ABO has become more as a, I guess, its own trope or own genre for
mhm.
BL or even like straight romance stories.
Wait, ABO is in straight romance
Yeah, I've
nowadays too?
seen some. It's
Oh,
okay.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. No, I see. Oh, I'm so used to ABO being like exclusively like a BL thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I forget that like you can have like alpha women with omega men or like the other way around. Like yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We'll go more into that because most of the time when I read those, um, it's mostly alpha men, X, omega women. Which just
And
started really
y-
disappointing because I'm
y-
like, okay, and it's whatever.
yeah,
But because again, it's become his own type of trope or genre, we have this, I guess, coalesced sort of like set of rules that most ABO
yeah, abide
stories
by
follow.
yes.
And you'll know this because when you start to read an ABO manga or like novel, it's all like, here's a page of the
Yes.
anatomy, the biology, and the rules of our world. And you're like, oh shit, is this like a little textbook before I start reading? Like,
It's like a
okay.
biology textbook, and it's at the beginning of every chapter. It's
Yes,
so
every
funny.
single chapter. Like the first one's okay, but you know, after that, you're like, all right, you gotta skip
Yeah, you
through.
gotta scroll through it.
But yeah.
I have a question. Do you think that what like which do you like better? Or how do you think ABO dynamics in like straight stories
Mm.
differ from ABO dynamics in like BL like gay
Mm.
stories, I guess? Have you seen differences or
Differences.
there's
Let's
like
see. Okay, to be fair, whenever I read ABO manga, it's mostly in manga too. I don't see a lot of ABO straight relationships in manhwa,
mm-hmm.
but in manga, it seems to like perpetrate the idea that women are meant to be submissive to dominant men, which is a common trope you see that's not even in an Omegaverse thing. So you're like, oh, this is really
Yeah.
nothing new, and it's just you're adding like some extra biology things to
Yeah. Yeah.
explain this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's where it can become problematic, I
Yeah.
guess. 'Cause
Yeah. And people find that problem, like the idea of like a dominant male versus a submissive partner, to be, again, a problem even with BO,
yeah.
Omegaverse situations, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Would you like to first try to describe to those who don't know the rules?
The rules.
Yes.
Okay, well, for those of you who don't know what the Omegaverse is and what we mean by alpha, beta, omega dynamics, It's basically it's this fictional sort of universe with its own biology, and like any gender can fall. They call in most like intros that they give in manga, they'll call it like it's a second gender or
Mm-hmm.
like a second sex or something. So it can belong to like men, women, anybody else. It'll be like if you're an alpha, you're like 1% of the population. You're like strong and like dominant and masculine and like hot and top and sexy like
It's what
they
all the alpha males out there on those YouTube videos strive to be. Yes.
exactly, yes, they want this, they want this world for them. And
Mm-hmm.
then everybody else to those alpha dominant YouTubers are the betas, the beta cucks. 99% of the world is like betas. Those are just your average, like you and I, just like boring as fuck, like nothing useful about them. They're just boring people, ordinary people, and they strive or like, and the way the societies in Omegaverses work is that like alphas always get like the top corporate positions or whatever, the best positions in society, and like betas are like everybody else. And then there's like even rarer than the alphas are the omegas. And again, they can be any gender, but omegas are like, they're the opposite of alphas. They're supposed to be the quote unquote receptive partner. And yeah, you can get what that means. And a lot of it follows kind of like, what was it? I think didn't it start, I think you mentioned somewhere that was it started as like a bestiality thing. It started from the whole
Oh yeah, the
wolf,
werewolf thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
wolves in captivity and all.
yeah.
The fact that they go into like heat and have pheromones and shit. Yeah, so it's, I don't know. I think you can probably describe it better.
No,
Um
you did pretty well. Those are like the basic things you need to understand about the Megaverse. Those like three secondary genders.
yeah.
The anatomy, you could probably look it up if you
Yep.
want to find yourself a diagram to understand. Like for example, male omegans, I guess I'll say like that.
Mhm.
They have a uterus that is connected through their rectum, which is how they get
They
pregnant.
give birth out of
Obviously,
their
if you didn't
ass.
know, yes. And
Yes.
then
Yeah.
I think for female alphas, like it's from what I've read, all right? But I don't think I've ever seen a female alpha as a main character, but
Mm.
supposedly female alphas, their clitoris could be engorged to become like the penis or phallic.
Oh
Um,
shit! I've never
yeah.
knew that.
Yeah,
That's so
it's
I.
in the small notes. Yeah, if you look hard enough, you'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah.
That's interesting. I never knew that. I wish there were more stories that had that. I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen one.
Yeah, but then again, we don't really read Yuri. So
That's
for all
true.
we know, there could be Omegaverse Yuri type BL stuff. Or
Yeah,
not
yeah,
BL,
yeah,
sorry, like mangas and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yes, that's that's just definitely something we can cover in another
Yeah,
episode for sure.
yeah, definitely.
Yes. Oh, and another important thing, like the crux of like the problem there is like it mimics a lot of like pure animal biology. So like there'll be a period in time when like an alpha goes into a rut
Mm-hmm.
and an omega goes into heat.
Mm-hmm.
And omegas are always treated like shit in society because like, oh, submissive and breedable. so yeah, and so omegas are treated very badly, and there's like a whole toxic rape culture with it because like, you know, if you're an omega, you should stay at home, and like
Mm-hmm.
why were you going outside while you were in heat? Like some random alpha can come and fuck you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
um
And for context about that, the idea of you mentioned it before, pheromones.
yeah,
So
yeah.
whenever they're in their ruts or heats, they emit pheromones to attract supposedly the other gender. Hence why if you in a lot of situations when an omega goes into heat and their pheromones are released, all of a sudden the alpha just loses full control of everything and their normal senses, and then situations ensue. And yeah, if that's probably one of the trigger warnings you could probably find in fan fiction and manga and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of toxic things happening.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of non consent and rape that could possibly occur. And for some like plot lines, I guess they use it as a plot point where the alpha like wake up from whatever situation and be like, oh shit, I did something horrible, like, and then romance blooms because they talk it out and they're like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry this happened and blah blah, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right. And the ones I've read, particularly, they have a reason as to why these secondary genders pop up.
Oh,
And so most of the time, it's like the world has suddenly had a decline in the population. And the rise of these secondary genders is the way of the, I guess it's the way of evolution or human, yeah, the way of human evolution to help, um, I guess, the population to
girl.
thrive
Oh,
and
okay.
whatever. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's also I didn't know that.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which is very surprising because you'd think that if that was the case that you'd treat the megas a lot better than like
Right?
shitting on them. If like
Right? Yeah, instead of putting them down.
yeah,
Yeah. You know what's funny is that I feel like the opposite of that reasoning is the way that I've heard some people argue for why is it that biology will allow like in real life
hmm
like people to be attracted to others of the same sex. Like why is biology like that? And they people have argued that it's nature's way of population control.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Right? Yeah. So I thought that was so fascinating that you brought up that whole like, oh, it's a way of nature to increase the population, to create this kind of ABO type thing. When it's an interestingly the opposite is occurring right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And another, I guess, rule that you'll see often in like the Omegaverse is the idea of a soulmate, right?
Mm.
And this again goes back to the idea of pheromones, where like you will find someone based off their pheromones that you're most attracted to, and most compatible with, in a way.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of it. Yeah. I always wonder, it's like, why not just like douse yourself in like alpha scented perfume? Just like put on perfume that smells like pine musk and manly scents that you find at Bed Bath and Beyond.
Bed Bath and
And
Beyond.
then
You just, yeah.
the Omegas all go into heat.
Oh, bro. Okay, I feel like that's probably popped up somewhere.
Really?
Yes, like yeah. So obviously, because the megas are at such a disadvantage, right? They have these. They'll have suppressants to, again, suppress their heats, suppress their pheromones. And most of the time, those suppressants are like found off the black market in this world, right? Because they're not, I guess, accessible. And so again, that's another plot point. We're like, oh, I took too many suppressants. I've postponed my heat, and all of a sudden it's happening full blast right now because I forgot to take it right now. I'm taking like really bad suppressants at the moment, and that just sounds like really bad birth control.
Yeah, yes, that's pretty much what it is. It's such a funny plot point too. Oh fuck, I took too many suppressants, or I'm in denial about being an omega.
Yes.
And that's another big plot point in a lot of stories where it's like omegas they don't want to be omegas. It's like yeah, and they'll like deny the way like internalized misogyny works or internalized homophobia works is almost the same way replicated. They're like I can't be an omega. Like
Yeah.
there's the whole thing about like doctors giving tests and you find out what your secondary gender
Yeah,
is.
that's it's always sad when it's like the little elementary school kids because technically your secondary gender comes up during like puberty. And so you sort of see like these little middle school kids all like, oh shit, no. And then it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
and it's sad.
yeah. And am I missing any other weird rules that come with this trope?
I can't think of any.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like if we touched on everything. Could alphas take suppressants? Yeah, they could. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I've seen stories with that. And also the nodding.
Oh, yes.
I will let you describe that.
Um, I guess this is to ensure that their partner is properly impregnated by, I guess, their mating. Alphas could form knots at the base of like their penis to prevent them from like, or to prevent them or their omega from like removing themselves, and to ensure that like everything stays in. Yes, that's the, for the lack of better. Yes,
Yes.
the safest way we can say that. Yeah. When I like try to describe this to my partner for the first time, he's like, "Yo, that's really weird."
It's like what the fuck?
Cause and it's horrible too. Cause well, not horrible, but it's, I guess, just weird and strange the fact that like these like the ejaculation period apparently is like 20 minutes long, supposedly.
What?
Yeah. And I'm like, that's great. Like some worlds would say that. Like some I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't think that needs to happen. It's all
Yeah,
good.
why the hell is it that
Yeah,
long?
exactly.
Oh wow, I didn't know
I guess it's for people who like that type of stuff.
that.
But
Yeah, they like that kink.
yes,
Yes.
in real life, that's probably very uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's awful. I feel like that's longer than sex takes itself. Like you're just both just sitting there waiting for it to be over. And I love how it's portrayed in webtoons too, because like there every single time there'll be a scene like they're like having like sex hardcore, and then um like there'll be a pause and the next panel shows and then the Omega's like, there's something there's something growing, what?
Oh, no.
And the alpha's just like smirking at them like
Oh my god. Yeah, it's just
it's so funny.
I know. Like when you read it and you're into it, you're like, wow. And then when you talk about it out of like, and you're trying to actually analyze it and understand it, you're like, okay, yeah, that's great.
That's hilarious. Yeah, but when you're reading it's hot, like you can't help it. But
Yeah. Let's go like into like actual stories that we've read, whether it's like manga or fan fiction. What are like the most common, I guess, pairings you see? Is it like alpha? For us, it's like for me, it's alpha and omega all the time. Yeah.
yeah,
That's the more popular pairing.
yes, it's that typical dominant type with the submissive type. We've also seen alpha and alpha. We haven't seen omega and omega because seeing two submissive people with each other is like whatever.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. What are they
Unless
gonna
one of
do?
them's a power bottom, what are they?
Exactly. With alpha and alpha, there's somebody to take down. But with submissive, yeah, what the what are they gonna do?
They're too shy to do anything.
You're right. Yeah. Yes. What do you think about alpha and alpha?
I don't know. I guess because I've never read it. I think it's always interesting to see two headstrong characters like headbutt each other. I've seen alpha x beta, and the beta
Oh.
like they don't have the anatomy of an alpha, but they have a very strong, stubborn mindset.
Okay. Do you know what is that a manga or webtoon? Do you know which one that is?
It was in a manga, and it was a side couple.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
I have some like gripes with that like pair or the beta character. Not my favorite, but the
Oh, does he
pairing was
suck?
interesting. A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So the manga that first introduced me to the Omegaverse is Kashiko Mari Mashita Destiny. And it's a common Alpha X Omega. Alpha is like the tsundere rich dude. The Omega is like the child of one of the servants that used to serve this Alpha's family.
Mhm.
And when they were younger, they unintentionally found out that they were soulmates in a way, based off the way they smelled, and they both smelled nicely according to the story. Time passes, they separate, circumstances bring them back together again. They sort of fall in love. The beta is the good friend of the omega, but the beta also has a one-sided like attraction to the omega character as well.
To the omega character. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But because he knows that the omega loves the alpha character, right? He's like, oh, I can never be with him. I just want him happy, so be happy, so it's fine. But the way he goes about it is that he's, I guess, super possessive of the omega. Yeah. So it's sort of like, can you just let him be and make his own choices?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a toxic friendship right there.
Yeah. I mean, eventually he's happy for him, and then again, he gets paired up with like a side alpha character who is also one of the head servants of the household, and it's really sweet. But yeah, I don't really care too much for the beta character in that concept.
Yeah, after he didn't portray himself in a good light.
Yeah, bad first impression.
Yes.
That's what I could say. So, what would you say is one of your main attractions to the Omegaverse? Why would you want to keep reading?
Well, it's hot. You got the nice smut scenes.
That's very true.
Yeah, Essentially, that's what people are in it for. When you ask them, like, if the Omegaverse are like an IRL thing, it's like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But like, in when you're reading it in fiction and you're seeing guys fuck, it's like, god damn, that's good. That's some tasty stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's it.
That's all
Oh
I
my
got.
god.
That's I feel that's my attraction to the Omegaverse. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll go in a little deeper. Yes, it is very hot. Why it's hot? I think it's because me personally, I sort of like that type of, I guess, dynamic. The strong, protective ex, like, I guess the sweet cinnamon roll type of character that's sort of like oblivious to things, but also it's just like generally soft. Like, yeah, it's like a cute pairing that like you don't mind. Very fluffy.
Yes.
And again, like
And seeing them getting railed
okay,
really hot.
that's that's the thing. Let me redeem myself. Okay. To be fair, a lot of the Megaverse in manga aren't about like hardcore smut or angst or all that. There's a lot of family dynamics because again, pregnancy is the main concept that surrounds the Megaverse itself.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of very sweet, fluffy mangas that are about a family between like an alpha and omega and their child, or maybe an omega and their like unexpected child and an alpha or even a beta that comes along that still loves them despite the fact that they are like this single parent.
That's
right?
cute.
Yeah, so it's
That's
cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's cute ones out there.
I think I can see what you're trying. I think like it's just I feel like we kind of reflect our own needs and desires when we like go into Omegaverse fiction. The idea of like um and a lot, and that was something I wanted to bring up because why is it that so many manhwa or webtoons the protagonist is the receiving character or the omega character? It's like, why is that? I feel like a lot of the times it's because like we see ourselves as that person, as someone who's misunderstood or in denial or like wanting affection and love and all that. So when we see like another character come in who like fits all our expectations of like what we consider attractive, and with like the desire to protect or to like defend you and all that sort of stuff, like that makes you feel good. And you connect with the protagonist, so you feel good for them too. And I think that's a lot, like that's probably also might be a reason.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
We don't kink shame in this
No.
house. Yes, we
No.
make yeah.
And this is very different from like a self-insert type of story, obviously. Do you have a stronger interest to Omegaverse type stories because of the way they subvert tropes and try to spice things up with how the plot goes instead of basic alpha x omega fall in love, blah blah blah, that stuff?
Yeah, for sure. There's been a lot of changes happening too, and one of my favorites is a really popular one, Love Shuttle. Because it's the basis seems typical because it's like alpha x omega, but the omega is like strong and buff as fuck, and like the alpha is like what the hell, but they're attracted to each other, and the omega is in denial about it. So it's really interesting to see how their relationship plays out because he has omega be like biology and obviously suffers from like the heat stuff as a result, but he got it when he was a lot older. Usually they have it like when they're in puberty, middle school stuff, but he was like 26 and he got his first heat then, so he's like in extreme denial about it. And so it's just interesting to see like an omega with a typical alpha x personality with someone who's like alpha through and through. So a lot of these tropes are being subverted. Same with alpha x alpha dynamics too. But what about you? I know like for alpha and alpha pairings, you're like not sure what to think about it because it's like it's hard to place them in a specific role, right? Yeah.
Which I know is like a big problem. Like one of the cons that people often see with the Megaverse is the idea of, I think it's called gender essentialism, right? Where you're sort of forcing the idea that the more dominant character is
inherently
male, and then the more submissive character is female, and of course the submissive character is the one that gives birth, right? which further perpetuates that you're putting all these heterosexual traits into like a gay couple,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can
And
see
a
where
lot
that's
of
a
the time, the
problem.
Omega characters are like femininely coded too, appearance
Yeah.
wise. Like
Yeah.
they're more delicate seeming than like the alpha characters.
Yeah. Which I can understand why people are upset about. I guess on the other side of it, I feel like the transgender community sort of accepts that, right? Sort of like the merging of two genders is strange in any ways. You're sort of normalizing that type of romance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because just a universe just where like that's accepted as a like a biological fact.
Mm-hmm.
And like the fact that um men can give birth and women
Can impregnate
can
another,
impregnate. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, a woman. You know, it's sort of like, yeah.
Didn't you I think that was an issue, right? I think in Dune, in the Dune series, right? I think what was that one like race of women who are like spies and
Oh, the
stuff?
Bene Gesserit? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The thing about them, though, is that it's not like they themselves can change their anatomy so that all of a sudden they could have male genitalia. It's more like they have control of, well, maybe they could, right? Because they do have control of their body, right? To the point where they can even determine what the gender of their unborn child could be, right? Yeah, I haven't read Dune. I will choose not to. 'Cause I went through the first couple of chapters and it was really dry.
Oh, dang! I thought you were able to finish it. You didn't.
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to know if a Bene Gesserit woman could change her gender, if she has that much control over her body. From what it sounds like, I don't think they would want to because the entire community is made up of women and they use their bodies to produce like children for the sake of like helping the evolution of humanity, right? So I think
Yeah.
it'd be counterproductive for them to all of a sudden become male. Yeah, unless there's some sort of fan fiction out there that changes that concept, but canon wise, yeah, I don't think it happens.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
It's like, what's the point of being? What was it? What is it? A Ben?
a Bene Gesserit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the point of being one of them if like the point of them is to give birth to like other people?
Mhm.
But if they give birth to or they change to a dude, how can they give how can they give birth?
Yeah,
And
which
it
is very
doesn't.
rare for a male to become a Bene Gesserit, and I think that's why Paul, who is the main character of Dune, is such a special case because Lady Jessica, his mother, wants him to become part of the Bene Gesserit uh, group and become, I forgot what it was, but there's a special term for a male Bene Gesserit.
I can't help but ask.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh,
but
no,
I
tell
was
me.
gonna say like, can a male Bene Gesserit change his gender?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know
Okay.
because since most of it is through Paul's perspective, he still struggles to learn the ways of the Bene Gesserit, right? How Lady Jessica teaches him how to use the voice. He still hasn't done that perfectly.
Okay.
Again, take this commentary about Dune with a grain of salt. I've only seen first movie.
Yeah.
Read only like maybe the first 10 chapters and yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot more that I don't know. It's a whole ass textbook really, the
Yes.
entire series. So
Yes.
yeah.
Lots of potential for a ABO fanfic there.
I guess.
I won't doubt that there's a lot of it on AO3. But
to be fair, you can insert an ABO universe into like any fandom that you
that's
want.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started with you said it started with Supernatural, right?
Yeah, the contemporary version, yeah.
Which pairing? Which characters?
Probably the classic ones. Is it Jenkins and
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah,
the main
yes.
dudes. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
Have you read ABO in any fan fictions? Like, have you chose to read them?
In fanfic?
Yeah, and like, what fandoms do you normally read them from?
Honestly, any. It
Mm.
goes it kind of goes as to what you said where it's like ABO can really be in any situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is like a secondary like gender kind of. And like I feel a lot of characters in many stories kind of fall into different or however different they are, they kind of fall into specific like types of people.
Mm-hmm.
One character might be more confident and self-assured and the other one might feel more insecure and all that. So easily you can project those to like alpha and omega, or like the boring dude you hate can be relegated to the beta cuck circle. So, um, but
Mhm.
the Omegaverse fanfic I really liked are the ones from the web novels that you read, the Chinese BL web novels.
Oh, those?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
those
those are
are,
really really good.
yeah, they are good. Yeah. And to be fair, I think it has mostly to do with writing quality. You can give me an Omegaverse, but if it's like very poor writing, I'm gonna just close it.
Yeah, it's
Go
just
away.
cringe.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it goes with like any form of media, right? You could turn this like really strange world into something that's actually very interesting to read just based off how well the story is told, right?
Yeah. Do you have any recommendations for people?
Mm, nope, y'all gotta search on your own.
Okay. All
That
right,
is,
you heard it, everyone.
they gotta search on their own. Yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's very hard. Because I think again the first one that I talked about that I read, I thought that was really good. And then when I look back at it, I'm like, art is pretty, but would I reread it for the sake of the plot? Not really.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty generic. And then even the one that I'm currently reading, like it's Low Tide and Twilight, where the Omega's in debt, the Alpha is like this gangster mob dude. Art is okay, but I feel like the character like the personality of the Alpha is really shitty. He's
Uh,
like he's unhinged. I'm okay with an unhinged male character, but he's
yes.
too unhinged and too
Oh.
much of a jerk for me to tolerate. And I'm
Oh,
like,
so he's like too insane.
yeah.
Oh, so is he like gaslighting the Omega, or just violent, or
Um, I wouldn't say he gaslights or he's definitely not violent towards him, but he's very persistent, right? He
doesn't take no for an answer?
that I feel like that's one, and the fact that like he pushes too hard, right? Because he thinks like, oh, I'm doing the right thing by trying to take care of you. I'm trying to help you out, right? I'm like, there's better ways of helping this person out. By not pushing yourself too hard
Yeah.
like this. I know what you're trying to do is good, and I hate it when, even with regular BL, where if the main character is in debt and the male lead is like, I'm rich, I'm here to save you, and type of like this type of situation, but they do it in this like arrogant fashion. I'm like, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hate those. Yeah, especially when they're like they like take care of them when they're in heat.
Mm-hmm.
Which really means you're in heat, so I had sex with you. You needed that.
Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, and one big trope with Omegas is that like being in heat is like very painful
Mm-hmm.
and really hard to go through, and they like completely change personalities. It's like being under the influence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You could say the same thing with alphas being in rut again.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they end up like, so they end if in a lot of stories they like go after like like the alpha nearest to them, like fuck me please.
Yeah. Oh god.
It do
Yeah.
be like that, and it ends up becoming like that, and then the alpha kind of lets that get to his head, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, like
Yeah.
I'll help
Like
you."
he's influenced by that too, in a way. Yeah, pheromones has like this huge thing with it. And the idea of these concepts of like bestiality is also another reason why a lot of people want to stray away from it, and I don't blame them because it is very strange.
Yeah.
The idea of like knots, ruts, heats, and pheromones is sort of like,
And
you're
impreg
born.
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, they're just like one step away from becoming a furry.
That's
The
true.
only thing that's different is that they all look human at least. You
Yeah,
know, that's it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Literally the difference is just that they don't look like animals.
Yeah, exactly. Is there anything you absolutely don't like in an Omegaverse? Like if you see it, you just like close it, put it down.
Not really. I think I'm pretty open to most things, but
Mm.
it's like I feel it's kind of the same with that you're experiencing with that one webtoon, Low Tide.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like the one of the characters is just so toxic and manipulative and mean.
Mhm.
that you feel so bad and you
Oh.
can't go through it. Um, yeah. But what's keeping you like to continue reading it? Because I like yeah, because the dude is mean. But
Uh, Low Tide and Twilight. I feel like it also has to do with the art too.
oh yeah,
Yeah. And because like the art isn't like my type, that means the plot has to be really, really good.
mhm.
And because the plot isn't that good,
Yeah.
you're sort of like, I'm just looking through these pages and sort of forcing myself to
Mm.
read this. So I might as well just close the story
Um,
completely.
okay. So you think you might just continue reading it?
Yeah. Unless I feel like the need to go back and read it, because that sometimes happens.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Sometimes the urge arises. Must reread.
yeah. Yes.
Must. Yes.
Yeah.
Must see it again. Oh, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
That has been on my mind. Where does the newfound Sigma male fit in
Oh my
to the
god.
AVO dynamics?
Yeah. Okay, wait. Can you remind me what how the degenerate humans out there use Sigma male?
It's so like it's hilarious. It's like, there's like toxic ass like people who are like you have to be like how to behave like an alpha and how to get chicks and how
Mhm.
to get like dominant and like how to get all these women after you and everything. Well, there was a bunch of people out there who were like, well, I don't fit into the alpha type, but that's because I'm too cool for that
Oh my
shit. So
god.
they came up with Sigma males. Sigma males, like, they don't care about being an extrovert socialite like the alphas. They're like their own person. People are obviously like, so you're just lonely, bro.
You're just no.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Um,
Okay, I'm just double checking. They only say deltas and gammas could be added. I don't really know
what
what
are
that
deltas
is.
and gammas?
I'm gonna check. I don't think I've ever heard deltas and gammas being used in manga though. But I'm very curious what their roles would be.
I've heard of gammas. Heard of gammas, like not in terms of Omegaverse, just in general, like as a trope, but not never deltas. I don't know. I From what I've read, gammas are supposed to be like the lone wolf type. Like they don't care for authority. Like they're their own person. They're independent. While alphas are like I need to be in charge of things. And like gammas like are their own type. Um, but that's where I'm like, then where are sigmas then? Because those are like the same thing.
I mean,
Um.
maybe sigmas are the gammas.
Oh,
Yeah, they
a
just
plot
said
twist.
from this article it says that deltas and gammas fall somewhere between alphas and omegas in sexual aggression. So that really doesn't give me any answers
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because at least for like alphas and omegas, you know, like oh, they have this certain type of biology, this sort of type of personality trait, or whatever, blah blah. You know,
Mhm.
sigmas are probably just a beta. Just accept
There's
it.
betas
It's
trying too
okay.
hard in extreme denial.
Yeah, and like to go into it, there's nothing wrong with having an alpha personality, a quote unquote beta personality, and a quote
Yeah.
unquote omega personality. You
Yeah,
know,
there's nothing wrong with it.
the way you give it these weird Greek letters is what's what's
Yeah, yeah.
strange.
You know what else is given weird Greek letters?
What?
COVID-19.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so you know it's bad news.
Oh
But
no.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I had something else I wanted to ask. What is your out of all, like, there's so many different ways you can like subvert tropes in ABO dynamics, and like what is your favorite type of role subversion, like aside from like the typical like alpha dominant submissive omega type, is there like a way you like seeing them like messed with?
Interact. Mm.
Yes.
Oh, that I do. There is
Oh,
one.
cool.
Okay. In again the first manga that I've read, the side alpha character, he's not too bad. He's pretty decent. I like him, and I wish there's more story focused on him as well, because he was a character that was, despite being an alpha, he was still harmed by the hierarchy of how the Omegaverse was built, right?
Okay.
And so for him, and I guess this is spoilers for everyone who wants to pick up on that manga, but for him, he had this horrible experience where he was essentially drugged and raped at a club of like omegas and betas, right? Because like,
Oh,
oh, you're an
jeez.
alpha, you could please us and all that stuff. And so he doesn't have this high and mighty, arrogant air around him. Like, yes, he's an alpha and all that stuff. I guess he is again a victim of the way the society was built,
Yeah.
right? And he hates the fact that his biology forces him to like feel that way, fall into those ruts, and lose control on how, like, lose control on how he feels.
Oh, okay. Dang,
Yeah.
that's so sad.
Yeah, I know, it's so sad.
Oh.
And so I guess that's why, if anything, I really want to see more alpha X beta tropes, right?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, of course, people will want to pit the omega with any of the two secondary genders, but the idea that, let's say, the beta character feels very insecure about being with their alpha partner because they feel as if they're not suited to be with them, right? Because that's what their society has taught them, would be a very nice, like, I guess, plot point or challenge for them to overcome.
Yeah.
And sort of build on their relationship and sort of understand, like, hey, my partner still loves me no matter what. This is just a secondary gender. It doesn't really mean anything about our attraction for one another. Right? Yeah.
That's really nice. I feel like I love that your kink is basically plain decency. Just be a nice person, bro.
Yes.
Because it's so common for relationships to be toxic in this type of thing. I really like that too. Yeah, because like in so many in like basically in really most Omegaverse material or media, I guess, it's only alpha and omega. Like 99% of the population is betas, but nobody
Yeah.
knows anything.
Yeah, no, if based on like what you read, you might as well think that 99% of the population is alpha and omegas because those are the main
No, that's
characters.
true.
You're
That's
like,
a good point.
and all their friends are also like fellow alpha and omegas, and you're like, you're okay.
Where's everyone else, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. And I know that was something we wanted to cover too because it's like the Omegaverse is very interesting because it really just it's a hyper focus on the exact same things that happen in the real world.
Yeah.
And like the idea of that one alpha character who was raped by omegas and betas.
Yeah.
It's this, and he was basically treated the same way as many male sexual assault survivors.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no one
Yeah.
would believe him, right? Because you're an alpha,
Oh.
you're dominant. You're stronger than them, right?
Yeah.
So how could you possibly be the victim?
Yeah, exactly. And that in itself is enforcing misogyny
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah. So, again, I thought that was very interesting, very different. Yeah.
Yes. That's it. That guy deserves happiness. I hope he gets they get a good ending in the story,
I
right?
guess since he's with that side beta character.
that's that side bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of like that tsundere type dynamic where the beta is like a tsundere in denial that like he likes the alpha, where the alpha is sort of like he's not in denial about his feelings, but he appreciates the dude, understands where his sentiment comes from, and also understands his hate towards like this society where, again, your pheromones or your biology decides on who you should be with.
Yeah.
And how you should act and stuff like that. So that was sort of like their shared, I guess, gripe against society. Yeah.
Very much similar to the real world where your biology kind of determines things.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And I have another question though. What if, along that story that you're reading, the idea of soulmates is a thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like you have certain sense between two different, like an alpha and omega, which connect. What if that character in your story encounters a scent that connects with? Because he's biological.
Oh, yeah, I've read stories that are like that too.
But he's in a relationship with a beta, but like he's got
yeah, that's actually a plot point in that one
really?
too. Yeah. So
okay.
From what I remember seeing, it looked like it was painful for them to sort of deny their quote unquote soulmate. But overall, in the end, it was up to the character to decide for themselves who they want to be with. Just because their biology says that they're attracted to this stranger
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they should be forced to be with them just because biology says so, you
I
know?
like that. Yeah. So it's like like the whole pheromone soulmate connection thing is really for like biological connection as opposed to any emotional
Yeah.
connection. Yeah.
And there's another manga that I remember reading. I don't remember the name, but it talks about the struggles with the idea of this soulmate attraction too, where this pairing, I can't remember if it looked like they were deeply in love with each other, like if they actually had a solid relationship before the secondary gender revelation thing happened. But I think there was a lot of doubt for the main character to be like, do I love this person, or is it because my biology is telling me that I love this person?
Ah,
Yeah.
dang.
And so in the end, he didn't want to be controlled by his genetics and decided to, separate from this person and find love from like someone else on his own
On his own
volition.
terms.
And
Yeah.
that's easy for him too, because at least he knows, like, yeah, this person is quote unquote my soulmate. So I'm free to go pick someone that I actually might genuinely love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I feel like it'd be way harder if you didn't know who your soulmate was and then you were in search of finding someone in hopes that they're not someone your body forces or wants you to be with,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a big struggle
Yeah. I feel like that'd be very heartbreaking.
and a big risk too because
Mm-hmm.
like you have someone who's your designated soulmate, but then you're like, that's probably what my cells and my my genes are telling me, um, and like taking the risk to break that off in the hopes that you'll find somebody somewhere in the world who will emotionally connect with you, like that must be really really a tough decision.
Yeah. There's a webtoon, not based on the Omegaverse, but the idea of soulmates. I forgot what it's called. I forgot who the author was, but it was in a society where your DNA is sort of put up against your partner if you already have a partner, and then you have like a certain numeric value to it to indicate how well you match. And the higher the number, the higher you match, and the higher you match, the more benefits you get from society, right?
Holy shit,
And so,
that's so messed up.
yeah, you can see where a lot of problems come in.
Yeah.
Obviously, this weird utopian dystopia type of concept is supposed to be like, yeah, we want our people to be happy with their partner, right? But when you read the webtoon, there's obviously people who have very high compatibility ratings, quote unquote compatibility ratings based off their DNA, but in reality, they absolutely despise each other. Yeah. And then you have people who love each other through the thick and thin of it, but they have really low ratings and they're put in like a really shitty situation. And you're like, damn, you know?
That's yeah,
Yeah.
bro. That's rough.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the name of it, but the main character, she's like someone who's been single, right? And she's an aspiring, I don't know if it's scientist or scholar or something like that, but she knows she needs to have a high partner or love score in order to get a certain scholarship or some sort of benefit to help her like move her or propel her career, which is sort of sad. It's sort of like
Yeah.
saying, I need a high credit score to buy this thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but instead of a credit score, it's your love score.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, so for the single people in this world, they have an option to provide a DNA sample and then see who they match with. So sort of like online dating, but with beer. But if it was like with, what's that? 23andMe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's ruined so many families. Yeah.
So she is one of the rare occurrences where she's actually paired highly with two different people.
Oh.
And one of them is like this really rich dude, and another one's like this really poor dude, right? And so it's her choice on whether or not it's her choice on like who she wants to be with. Either one, she'll get a high score, get whatever she wants, but she'll be with that person for like a long time.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nice. I think it's very really interesting though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, it's a completed series already. I just don't remember the name. You want to talk about what you read?
yeah. I mean like I mentioned what I've read Love Shuttle. Another one that I really liked is Define the Relationship. Which is really good because I didn't think I was also kind of like how you were before, where it's like alpha x alpha. That's like that's weird. It needs to fall into there needs to be opposing like things there for it to work, but like it's hot. And the one of the alpha characters, I feel like I can really relate to the main character. Um and I think this is really very much like the best example of like kind of projecting yourself into it a bit, because like the main character is kind of, the way it goes, like the main character is like an alpha. He comes from like a prestigious line of like, people, and he's having trouble like literally like getting with people and like getting with omegas and all that sort of stuff. I think with other omegas. So like he goes to his doctor and all, and they literally have him, they have people in their service who like act as partners for people like him who are having trouble. Um and so this dude is really insecure about himself, but he's like, okay, fine, I'll give it a try. And this person who is assigned to him is another alpha. And he's just the sweetest person. He's so nice and kind. And the main character feels really conflicted because he's like, why would he like someone like me? And also, he just feels insecure in general because he's just assigned to me. He doesn't feel anything for me. There's no way he'd feel anything for me. So he's like, does this guy actually like me, or is he just doing this because it's his job? Um, so it's really really nice, and I like the way it goes. And the smut scenes are extremely hot, and the art is beautiful. So yes, I recommend.
Love Shuttle. I will read.
Oh no, this is Define the
Oh, Define the
Relationship.
Relationship. I will
Love
read.
Shuttle is the other one. Yes, but yes, the Destiny one that you read, and the other one with that hella dystopian society, um, those seem really good. Yes.
I mean, the one with the dystopian society. I think I get a little bit upset at the main character.
Oh, is she a bitch?
No, she's not a bitch. It's just that it sort of seems like she's stringing these two guys along because in the beginning they don't know that she's
That's
that
not
she's seeing
nice.
two guys.
Bro, no. No, that's awful.
Yeah, and she comes to terms with it,
Okay.
which is good. And
she could just, they could just be a throuple.
I feel like that's what a lot of people said too.
Really? Okay, yeah.
A lot of
I
the comments
bet
are like that too.
they could just be a throuple. Yes. Oh wait, was Destiny the same one as the person that won Alpha, who was like with the beta?
Yeah, same one.
Oh, okay,
Except
good.
they're a side couple. So
Okay.
if you want context on like who those side characters are and why they're there, you should read the whole thing through.
For sure,
Yeah.
I hope I don't hate the beta by the end of the main couple story.
No, I think you'll like him, but he probably doesn't rank as a favorite. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Next episode is
next,
another review.
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to reveal what we're?
Yes. It is not an Omegaverse. About FYI, it's Kingsmaker.
Yes.
Very, very strong elements of political intrigue.
Yes. And a very nice central pairing in it, and a very nice side thing going on too. Yeah. But yes, I guess we can conclude this episode by saying that DNA is probably just as reliable as astrology when it comes to compatibility. And sigmas have no place in this world.
No, they don't. In neither world.
In neither world, actually. Yes.
Thanks for listening.
Yes, and join us for the next episode.
Bye,
Bye everyone.